Shalom, and thank you for joining me in the second video of the Last Decade in Israel exhibit videos. If you haven't watched the first video yet, look it up on my Facebook page. In the last video, we got to the year of 2011, and now, please welcome 2012! The Jewish Ethiopian community in Israel is fighting for justice ever since they came in Israel in the 70s. The first struggle of the community was the recognition of them being Jews. But in the last decade, the protest of the community changed its shape, and it's against racism and police violence. This protest began after an article published about landlords who refused to rent their houses and apartments to Ethiopians. 2,000 protesters came to Jerusalem because of that racist act. This is only one case from many more racist acts against the community this past decade. Another great Israeli discovery in science. Israeli scientists discovered a revolutionary test that could be used to discover if there is a cancer tumor in the body. The test, based on the fact that cancer tumor development can cause a change of different materials in the blood, and the scientists discovered that those changes can be identified by infrared rays. Another great Israeli achievement in science is the participation of Israeli scientists in the great experiment to discover the God particle made by the European Organization of Nuclear Research. The God particle, also known as Higgs boson, confirms the structure of material in the world. It appears for a fraction of a second and disappears. In November 2012, after a massive rocket launches from the Gaza Strip towards Israel, which got over 100 rockets a day, the IDF launched Operation Pillar of Defense. The operation began with the killing of Ahmad Jabari, chief of Hamas military wing in Gaza, by an Israeli airstrike. The operation lasted 8 days until the rocket shooting stopped. Oh, I'm sorry. I needed a coffee break before we move forward. Alrighty, I think I'm good. Let's get started. 2013 has 4 exciting events to cover. In a special ceremony made in Israel, in the notation of 70 years of the Varsha Ghetto Rebellion, President Shimon Peres received a rare document of a 37-year-old man's diary from that time. The document describes the horrors of the Varsha Ghetto and the impossible living conditions. Peres approached the rebellion survivors that were invited to the ceremony and said, "I'm standing thrilled by your incredible bravery and shocked until today by the hate of the Nazis." The story of Agent X is about an Australian-Israeli citizen who was a veteran of the IDF and allegedly an agent of Mossad. He was imprisoned in Israel and died in custody, reportedly by hanging himself in a maximum security cell designed to be suicide. Ben Ziegler got the Agent X nickname by the media while he was being held in strict secrecy for unspecified crimes. In March 2013, President Barack Obama came to visit Israel, the West Bank, and Jordan. On his visit, he discussed political matters with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and also visited the Israel Museum and Yad Vashem Museum. On his arrival ceremony, Obama said, "I'm confident in declaring that our alliance is internal. It is forever, LaNetzach." Our dear President Shimon Peres is 90 years old. 30,000 people from all around the world, including state leaders and Hollywood stars, came to Jerusalem to honor the man. President Bill Clinton, a close friend of Peres, opened the ceremony, and Barbara Streisand performed an emotional performance with the famous prayer Avinu Malkeinu. Happy birthday, Mr. President! Thank you for watching this video. Keep following me on Facebook for the next one. See you next time. Shalom!